reissue. All right. So we will look at both of these scenarios, Amadeus ticket changer reissue and manual reissue. So we will look at first the easier part, which is the ATC reissue. ATC reissue is very easy. There is nothing to be done from your end. Everything will be done by the system. You just need to perform a few entries and the system will auto calculate how much difference you need to charge if there is any difference to be charged, or how much date change penalty if there is any date change penalty, or how much tax difference. So all these calculations will happen in the backend. You will just perform one entry. The system will do all the calculation. It will also store the TST for you. Then after doing that entry, all you need to do is give the ticketing command and your ticket will get reissued. Okay. So how we can do ATC reissue? Now all of you have a PNR, correct? Let's say you all have this PNR now. Now let's say, for example, this customer is requesting for a change. Now when you are doing ATC reissue, you have to keep in mind 4 main entries for ATC reissue. Just like your pricing, in ATC also there are 2 types of entries. One entry will store your TST, another one will not store your TST. So you will ask me, why do we have like this kind? Why no TST with TST? Well, the reason being is every time passenger may not want to go ahead with a change. Okay, sometimes the customer will call and say, I just want to know, please don't do any changes on my booking. Okay, I just want to know if I do the changes, how much will it cost? Okay, but don't go ahead and change anything. Okay, just now keep as it is. So when you are in that kind of a scenario where customer is not confirmed, he just wants to know how much it's going to cost. Then you have the entries which will not save any TST for you. Okay. So what are these entries? So one of them is called FXF. Okay. FXF is very similar to your FXX entry. Normally you will do FXX for a new ticket, right? When it comes to reissue, you will do FXF. FXF, what it will do is it will reprice the itinerary. Okay, it will reprice in the same class what you have sold. So same logic as FXX. So when I have sold Q class and if I do FXF, it will reprice my itinerary in the same class and check if any difference is to be collected or what is the penalty. And it will tell you accordingly how much you need to collect from the passenger. Okay. In FXF, just like your FXX, no TST will be saved. So this entry is generally you will do when passenger is not confirmed. He is just telling you, can you please check and tell me how much it's going to be costing? I don't want to go ahead with the changes. I'm just checking. All right. Second entry where no TST will be saved. However, you can do you just need to check how much it's going to cost. That is called FXE. Okay. FXE is like your Fox X-ray Romeo. You remember Fox X-ray Romeo / kilo? Your FXE is the same entry like this, but only thing is here you're using it for repricing a ticket which has already been issued. Whereas FXR / kilo, you're doing it for a new booking. Okay, that is the only difference. Here also, just like your FXR, let's say you have randomly sold any booking class, the system will reprice. Okay, the system will reprice and it will check the best available fare. Reprice, like your FXR, it will search for the best available fare. Okay, and it will rebook your itinerary. So it will reprice at the same time it will rebook also, just like your FXR. Okay, no, sorry. In FXC it will not rebook. It will only tell you, it will only search for the best available fare. In FXR it rebooks, in FXC it will not rebook. Okay, and there will be no TST. So it will only check in the backend whether the seat is available or no, but it will not change. So again, This entry you will use when passenger is not ready or not confirmed to go ahead with the changes. And exactly opposite of these two entries is your FXQ. So FXQ is your same FXF only. However, only difference here is TST. FXQ will do the same. It will give you the same amount as FXF. Only thing here, along with the repricing, it will also save the TST for you for the reissue. And FXO/kilo, this is slightly different. In this case, it will use the same logic here of FXE, but only difference here is it will reprice at the same time it will rebook also. So FXB will, like when you're doing FXB, right? FXB will change and it will rebook, right? In FXO also, it will reprice and rebook the best available fare, and it will also save the TST for you. Okay, so four main entries you have to remember when you're doing the repricing. When you're doing the repricing, these four main entries you need to keep in mind. One is FXF if it is the same booking class, but if the same class is not available, only some other higher classes are available. To check what is the best available, you will do FXE/kilo. Okay, FXE/kilo will reprice to best available but not change your booking. So you're safe here. Nothing happens to your existing booking. However, if the passenger is confirmed and wants to go ahead, then what you can do is either you can do an FXQ if the same class is available. If the same booking class which is there on your ticket, if it is not available and some higher class is available, now you don't know which class to book in that, then you can do an FXO/kilo, which is like your Fox X-ray Bravo entry. Okay, so you can do an FXO/kilo and then it will reprice. And in this FXO entry, when you do, it will also rebook. Okay, it will also rebook. So it will change your booking class. So let's say you have sold Y class. If it finds a lower fare on Victor class, the moment you do FXO, it will change your booking class to Victor, and then it will tell you, okay, this is the fare difference you need to collect. This is the penalty that you need to collect, and then it will also save the TST for you. Okay, let's look at an example of this with the PNR that we have created. So then you will understand these entries much better. So let's say in this
I have
example,
a doubt.
yes.
We have already done the date change, right? Revalidation.
Hmm.
So what's the difference between a revalidation and reissue?
Okay, very good question. You remember what did I tell you for revalidation? What are the requirements for revalidation?
Just
You look at my screen. So in order to revalidate a ticket, what is required? Firstly, there should be no additional collection, correct?
yeah, sorry, yeah.
It should be zero, right? So when you are doing a reissue, in case if you come across a scenario where there is no additional collection, then there is no need to reissue. You can revalidate. We are looking at a scenario
Okay,
now
sir. Like
where,
that additional baggage, additional seat, that and that,
yeah,
right? Ah, okay.
that is different, bro. That is for EMD. That topic is over. Now what we are talking about is changes on the ticket. So whenever you are checking for the changes on the ticket, if you come across a scenario where nothing is to be collected, like we saw in this example, passenger was doing a change, there was no fare, no tax, no change fee, nothing had to be collected. It was zero. So when you have a situation like this, some airline will tell you no need to reissue, you can revalidate. However, for some airlines, revalidation is prohibited. So when revalidation is not the option at that point of time, you will reissue with zero amount. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So revalidation is different. Revalidation you will use only if the airline is permitting and only if there are no charges to be collected. However, what we are now looking at is a scenario where you have to do a reissue, and you first need to, before you go ahead with the reissue, you first need to follow the same steps like how you did in the revalidation. So in this case, but the only thing is you don't have to go and check any fare rule, or you don't have to check any how much will be the difference. You don't have to manually calculate anything. Now, let's say, for example, we have a PNR like this. So first things first, when a passenger is requesting for a change, now just like your fare family, right? All the airlines do not participate in ATC reissue and ATC refund. Okay, there is a list. There is a list of airlines which are participating in ATC reissue and ATC refund. To display this list, you will do FQN ATC slash CXR. Okay, this will give you the list of all the airlines which are participating in ATC. Those airlines which are not in ATC, you have to do manual reissue for them. Okay, now here, let's find out if Etihad is participating in ATC. So I do FQN ATC slash CXR. Immediately you will see one table here with the heading which says ATC reissue. Okay. Under this, you will see a whole list of airlines over here. So if you see here, if you noticed, EY is showing over here. So which means Etihad is participating in ATC reissue. So any of these entries will work for Etihad. Okay, if I perform any of this repricing entry, it will work for Etihad. For refund, there is a separate table. So just because some airline is participating in ATC reissue, it is not necessary they will participate in ATC refund also. So if you will move down this table, you move down a couple of times, you will find another table with the heading which says ATC refund. Okay, if you look at the number of airlines here, it is less compared to ATC reissue. And if you notice here, Etihad is not part of ATC refund. So there is no Etihad, there is no Emirates in this list. All right.
So
So
meaning we need to do refund manually for these airline carriers,
no, these
No,
carriers
because
ATC, the ones which are not in this table,
not
you
their
have to do. Yeah.
manual. Okay.
Yes.
because maybe because they are revalidation also, right or not?
Revalidation, you can check it through that e-ticket table.
Mm.
Whether revalidation is permitted or no, that you can check it through the e-ticket table. Right now, what we are looking at is reissue and refund. So that is a separate topic, revalidation. That is different. Okay, right now we are checking for, in this case, in ATC also, you can do revalidation provided when you do the ATC entry, if there is no fare difference or tax difference, nothing, it is coming as 0, then also you can do revalidation. Okay. So now for the ATC reissue and refund, if you want to know the list of participating carriers, so it will be different. It will not be the same. Refund, you have a different list. Reissue, you have a different list. Many times we are seeing travel agent are getting confused. The moment they will see this table, they will think that even for refund, we can use the same logic. But no, in this case, in ATC, two different tables. So you have to refer to both. If you're doing refund, refer to this. If you're doing reissue, you will refer to the reissue table. Okay. Once you know that the airline is participating in ATC reissue, and let's say this customer has come to you, is requesting for a change. Let's say he wants to change the departure date from, let's say, 20th December. He wants to change it to maybe 21st, the next day, or 22nd morning he wants to leave from here. Okay, any date. So customer is saying, see, I am not, I don't want to go ahead with the changes. I just want to get an idea that in case if I change, then how much it will cost, because I have some work to be done on the 20th.